man, this is 91, I think it was. No, actually, it was even earlier than that. But I had been told that if you use no more than 30% of the logo, then you're not actually infringing on copyrights. And that, I'm telling you right now, that is not true.
The cease and desist order said otherwise.
So I created this shirt, and it had looked just like a missing poster, and it said, missing, lost football team, last wearing silver and black, seen at the corner of Hagenberger and 880 where the Oakland Coliseum is. If found, please return to the city of Oakland, and used half of the Raider logo off to the side. It's just kind of a joke. And started selling those shirts to people that I worked with. Next thing I know, I'm selling shirts at flea markets. The same thing, and they're going good. And on the back, I put Al Davis sucks, and he was the owner of the Raiders at the time. And the shirts are going really well. So then I move up to where I'm doing these huge collector shows, like at the Oakland Coliseum or San Francisco, where they have all these old football players come in and they do signatures, and you got people selling all kinds of memorabilia. And I got the balls to set up a full table, and I'm selling these things. And one real quick sidebar is somebody that came up to buy one of the shirts was Howie Long.
Yeah.
And see, I was taking a football around to these old Raiders, which was great for me. I have this football now that has 30-something signatures on it, and a good portion of them are dead and in the Hall of Fame. But what I would do is I would take this football around to one of the old Raiders, and I'm like, hey, would you mind signing my football, and then I'll give you a shirt. And most of them, especially when they saw that Al Davis sucks and the football team had left, they're like, yeah, no problem. So I've got all of these, well, I can name off old Oakland Raiders, but anyway, most people probably wouldn't know who they are. So anyway, so Howie Long sees that I'm taking this ball around. So he walks up to the booth and he says, hey, how much are the shirts? I'm like, they're $15. And it was his first year. They had just won the Super Bowl in L.A.
Nice.
And he goes, want me to sign the ball? I went, no, I'm good, man. Thanks. And because he's not an Oakland Raider, he's an LA Raider. He's not an Oakland Raider. And he looked at me like, I bet I could throw you 3 zip codes from here. He was not. And he tells the guy he's with, he goes, just pay the man. And so he bought 2 shirts from me. But anyway, so I was one of those conventions I was working at. This guy walks up and he's very nicely dressed and he's got glasses and he's kind of small, and he walks up and he goes, oh man, I got to give me one with Al Davis sucks and one without. So he buys them and he says, Mr. Davis is going to love this. And he walks away. So I get a cease and desist order about a month later, but the cease and desist order came at almost the exact same time that it was announced that the Raiders were coming back. And so
your run was over.
My run was over, but the great thing is that like on the same day, it was on the cover of on the front page of the sports for USA Today, and they had it on Sports Center.
I thought when the story started that the wrong person bought one, right? I mean, it's all fun and games until that one guy buys one, and he's like, "Look at what I bought." But then I mean, the other cease and desist order was with the Midland Street pub crawl and the Sesame Street drunk characters.
That was good.
Was it just Bert and Ernie?
It was it had Oscar on the back. He said I got trashed at Midland Street. And had all the bars listed.
But I mean that got a cease and desist order from Disney, right?
From Sesame Street Workshop.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here's the funny thing about that is that it was it's a little pub crawl for the most part in the middle of nowhere. This was before social media, right? And my dad, it shows up on hard copy, and my dad in Oregon, he calls me. He says, hey, Johnny, I'm watching hard copy. I'm like, yeah. And he goes, is that your shirt? Doesn't even say anything else. Doesn't say, hey, I see the shirt on TV. Hey, there's something about Bay City. And I pause, and I'm like, yeah. And he goes, what are you doing?
That's great.
He's 3,000 miles away, and he goes, that's my kid's shirt, damn it. He lives in Bay City now.
It's not that I'm mad at you. I'm just disappointed in your decision.
Is that your shirt? Come on, man.
Send me one, will you?
That's
funny.
Awesome. Well, it's we should try to get a cease and desist here. How can we do that?
I don't know.
How severe do you want it? I mean, do you want to go after the mouse? Because the mouse will get you one really quick.
The what?
Mickey. Go after Disney. Yeah, do anything that's Star Wars or Disney related, and before you even get that idea out of your mind and onto paper, you've already been given a cease and desist. They can tell that you're thinking about cheating them out of money. There you go.
Yeah, take that.
Because you can't go over there.
Right.
Anyways, it feels like this is the end of the show today. We went live. I think we're still live. Nobody talked to us on there, so that's okay. We don't feel lonely.
No.
And keep your hands to yourself.
This is like one of the great bar songs of all time.
Yes, it is.
If you're DJing at a bar, every white girl with studded pants on will come dance to this song.
Oh, yeah.
I always thought that they're making up the accents when I heard this in California. Then I moved to Michigan and realized, oh, no, those accents are real.
What accent?
Same old thing.
Oh, yeah. Wow. I heard it now. Anyway, so you can listen to the show live. I don't know why you'd want to do that, but you can listen live right at our Spreaker page. You can listen on Spotify. You can listen on any of the popular sites. We're still getting approved for Apple, and we're still getting approved for iHeartRadio. But anybody got anything else before we wrap this thing up?
I think you ended it on a very good note.
Yes, I think so.
We're trying to get a cease and desist order, so if you could send one of those, we'd appreciate that. It's the Non-Essential Rabbit Hole Podcast. See you guys later.
See ya.
Later.